WCBI News at 6 starts now.
Good evening, everyone, and thanks for joining us. The eastbound lanes of I-22 are open tonight in Union County. A tanker overturned this morning, spilling thousands of gallons of hydrogen peroxide. WCBI's Allie Martin has more on the accident, the cleanup, and how folks were impacted.
Thank you. 7 volunteer fire departments, Tupelo Hazmat, Union County EMA, and a host of experts were on the scene quickly after a tanker overturned in the eastbound lane of I-22 between Glenfield and Myrtle. It was around 7:20 Wednesday morning when the tanker truck left the roadway, overturning in the median of I-22. Hydrogen peroxide vapor was visible and dangerous because of its concentrated form.
He's hauling approximately 4,500 gallons of hydrogen peroxide at a 50% ratio, which is a pretty stout mixture of hydrogen peroxide. Hydrogen peroxide at this mixture can burn your skin. It can infect your lungs where you can't breathe. Also can put your eyes out.
As director of Union County Emergency Management Agency, Kirk Clayton helped coordinate the response and cleanup. As soon as authorities determined that neither the truck's driver nor anyone else was injured, firefighters began dousing the leaking chemical with water to dilute it. In the meantime, authorities shut down all 4 lanes of I-22 between Glenfield and Myrtle as environmental experts came up with a game plan to clean up the spill, offload the chemical into another tanker, and open the roadway.
This is a major thoroughfare. There's a lot of economics that are involved in this, and we're going to try to get this highway open as soon as possible for the citizens and the traveling public.
Traffic was diverted onto 178. The 2-lane highway is not built to handle such large amounts of vehicles. Randy Parks is owner of RP Auto and says he's never seen 178 this congested.
We never have continuous traffic running all day long. It started about 9 o'clock this morning, so it hasn't allowed us to get any new customers coming in for the day, but fortunately we had some work here already that kept us busy so far. And it gets us more exposure of everybody driving by today. They know where we're at for sure now.
Emergency officials warned motorists it would be an all-day cleanup. By 3 in the afternoon, 178 was still bumper to bumper. But overall, things went well. No one was hurt, and potentially toxic chemicals were contained quickly. In New Albany, Allie Martin, WCBI News.
No word tonight on when the westbound lanes could reopen. In other news, a Columbus woman is expected to plead guilty to healthcare fraud. Robin Gary Lowry waived indictment and admits she took part in a pharmacy billing scheme which cost Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Alabama and a pharmacy benefits management firm $13 million in fraudulent payments. Lowry was working for Global Compounding Pharmacy. She admitted to getting a doctor who is a close family member to write prescriptions to people that the doctor had not seen or treated. Columbus police believe the arrest of 5 people from West Point could end a Golden Triangle burglary ring. 21-year-old Stephon Cox, 20-year-old Quian McFarland, 21-year-old Tavares Pigram, and 19-year-old Jasmine Weber and Janisha Cox are all charged with burglary of a dwelling. Cox, McFarland, and Pigram are facing 3 counts each. Weber and Cox face 1 count. The charges come from an early Tuesday morning break-in on Sierra Court. A neighbor spotted some suspicious activity and called police. Investigators say officers found the suspect's SUV and detained 5 people. Some stolen items were found inside the vehicle. Detectives believe the suspects could be connected to 2 burglaries in Audubon Cove and 1 at Falcon Lair Apartments. CPD has talked with detectives in Starkville and West Point about the arrests. The 5 are believed to be suspects in multiple burglaries in the Golden Triangle. If you have any information, you can call Golden Triangle Crime Stoppers. Meanwhile, Tishomingo County deputies believe they have ended a 2-state burglary ring. Vincent Melhot of Iuka is charged with conspiracy to commit a crime, burglary of a dwelling, 3 counts of possession of stolen property, and 2 counts of grand larceny. Dakota Gardner is charged with conspiracy to commit a crime, and Wesley Hollis is charged with conspiracy to commit a crime and possession of stolen property. Tishomingo deputies worked several burglaries in the Eastport and Snowdown areas involving ATV and gun thefts during March and April. Most of the property has been recovered. Investigators also recovered a number of stolen professional-grade fireworks. The fireworks were allegedly stolen in Colbert County, Alabama, and recovered in Tishomingo County. More arrests are expected. Time now to turn our attention to weather, and Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson joins us with a first look. Keith?
Joey, right now we have some quiet conditions out there, some wispy cirrus clouds in Columbus. We're warm, 85 degrees, winds from the south and southwest at about 9 miles per hour. A few blips on radar today, all of that staying aloft. We have dry air in place, but there are some storms back to the west. We'll have some rain chances here tomorrow evening, late, and tomorrow night and Friday. 80s right now, and we're going to be going down into the upper 60s by 11 o'clock. The full forecast in just a few minutes.
All right, thanks, Keith. Several state lawmakers talk politics in Columbus today at a legislative luncheon. Legislators recap the 2017 session and discuss several hot topic issues facing the state, along with answering questions from the audience. The Columbus Lounge Chamber of Commerce hosted the event at Lion Hills. Our Quentin Smith talks with the lawmakers, and he joins us live with more. Quentin?
Joey, when it comes to all of these problems the state is currently facing, such as lack of funding for education as well as infrastructure, state lawmakers agree these topics need to be addressed during the upcoming special session. However, their solutions to these problems is where some state lawmakers disagree. A host of state lawmakers addressed their constituents on Wednesday to talk about the various problems the state is currently dealing with.
We know that revenues are down. There are cuts that have been made practically across the board. I wish I could say that I'm hopeful. I know that we're going to get something passed, but to say that it's going to meet the needs of those agencies that haven't been funded in total, I doubt.
One of the biggest issues the state is dealing with is the lack of funding for roads and bridges.
We have to fix our structure. We're letting it fall down around us. If we don't take care of that, we're going to be losing, because we have all these big businesses coming into Mississippi. You've got to have great roads to travel on.
And another issue is finding money for schools.
Education is always a problem, but it's our constitutional responsibility as a state to educate its children. And if we do not educate them, if we don't take care of the funding for the education of the children, then it's going to be shifted to the local level. And I think we'll be bordering a constitutional problem there that might get us in trouble.
Lawmakers believe gas tax, implementing a lottery, or internet sales tax are three options the state should consider to help bring in more money to fund these projects.
Out of those three, I favor the internet sales tax.
Gas, fuel tax, possibly. We should have already had that in play for like 3 or 4 years now, because fuel and gas has been down for 3 or 4 years.
Some of the points that were raised today is that a lottery is not going to be a silver bullet. But in the event that it's passed, I do think we need to make sure that those funds are earmarked for certain projects. Certainly there are needs for education, there's a need for road and bridges.
Now, Governor Phil Bryant has called a special session and is expecting to address majority of these issues. The date for that special session will begin on June 5th. For now, reporting live in Columbus, Quentin Smith, back to you in the studio.
All right, thanks, Quentin. Beer and liquor sales laws in Mississippi are complicated. The patchwork of wet and dry cities and counties can be confusing. The issue is left up to voters, and some in Calhoun County are looking for a change. WCBI's Victoria Bailey joins us live in the studio with more. Victoria?
That's right, Joey. City officials in Vardaman, Calhoun City, and Bruce are going through a series of meetings to discuss the possibility of legalizing alcohol. It's a decision that local leaders are hoping will increase traffic to the area and get the whole county on one accord.
Preserving the city is the theme as city officials in Calhoun County prepare to open the floor to discuss the legalization of alcohol.
The legislature passed a bill where the county seats could have alcohol, beer, and liquor. But you know, since that's happened, one of my businesses here in town is hurting because now the same business in Pittsburgh can serve alcohol.
Bruce Mayor Rudy Pope is spearheading the conversation. He reached out to surrounding cities to see if they're feeling the same impact and to work towards a solution.
No, these meetings are just to see what kind of interest we're going to have in doing this. We're going to have 3 meetings. We're going to have Thursday, we're going to have it here. The 15th, we're going to have it in Vardaman, and the 16th, we're going to have it in Calhoun City. So I wanted to get everybody in the county involved in this so we could go ahead and get this passed.
Calhoun County has been dry for several years now.
Mississippi is the most religious state in the union, and Calhoun County might be the most religious county. I think that's basically the reason why we've been dry all this time.
And Bruce resident Spud Deaton says he thinks the county could use the economic boost.
It'd be a boost to the tax base. I mean, anybody that wants any form of alcohol, they go somewhere else to get it, and we're wet for liquor in Pittsburgh, and you know, I mean, it's tax dollars that's going somewhere else. I mean, everybody's got their own vices, and you're gonna take care of them wherever you got to go to get it.
Pope says it's one thing to get the city leadership on board, but residents are another matter.
A lot of people won't sign a petition. That's the main thing. We got to get it, you know, 20% of the qualified voters to do this. I found out, you know, we can put the petition in the paper, and, you know, then all they do is cut it out, send it to us, and all that.
In Calhoun County for WCBI News, I'm Victoria Bailey.
Now the first meeting will begin at 6 o'clock Thursday night at Bruce City Hall. Joey?
All right, thanks, Victoria. When it comes to reading, the younger you start, the better. Our Educator of the Week is taking that lesson to some of the area's youngest students. Back, everyone. There's never a dull moment in a pre-K classroom. That's what drives our Educator of the Week. Debbie Quinn teaches preschool at the Oktibbeha County Head Start. Quinn says it's important to get kids excited about school early. So, among other things, she reads to her class 3 times a day. Seeing the children grow and learn gives her job purpose.
I let my children know that, first of all, I'm keeping them safe. Ms. Quinn will take care of you. I'm going to meet your needs. If there's anything you need, I want them to feel like they can come to me and say, well, Ms. Quinn, I don't feel good today. Or, Ms. Quinn, I had a wonderful weekend.
Along with being Educator of the Week, today was also Quinn's birthday. To nominate a teacher, you can visit our website, WCBI.com.
Otherwise, today, tons of sunshine. Our Alpha Insurance time lapse from Tupelo shows a few folks down there at the fountain enjoying the great weather. Storm chances tomorrow night and Friday. The latest is next.
WCBI's Educator of the Week is brought to you by Food Giant, where your neighbors are the owners. Your first alert weather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
Well, check out this orange morning moon in Louisville this morning. That 99% full moon last night will be 100% full tonight. So it's going to rise at 7:38. It's going to be shining all night long. We'll have some clouds passing on through, but you will notice it as you go out and about later tonight and early tomorrow morning. So pretty quiet now. We do have some storms that will be coming back tomorrow evening late into our Friday. We'll clear it all out for the weekend, warm again next week. This is how it looked today. Our Alpha Insurance time lapse from Columbus. Look closely this afternoon. Do you see any clouds? Boy, it's tough to see. Let's just see it again. Do we see any clouds out there? Well, there have been a few clouds. just very thin clouds, very dry air in place right now, and no rain reaching the ground here in our viewing area today. So that's the way it's looked. Lows tonight, upper 50s, low 60s out there, another mild one. Here's our planner for tomorrow. We're looking at some 60s initially, then back into the mid-80s. Winds from the southwest at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. So perhaps a little bit cooler in the far west where there could be some additional cloud cover. Farther east, maybe a little bit warmer, mid to upper 80s, but still a warm day for us. Big-time storms rumbling through Iowa and Missouri, now into Illinois. You can see that line of storms right there. Even some severe thunderstorm warnings at this point. Farther south and west into Oklahoma and Texas, a tornado watch there in yellow and storms erupting there as well. So that's the system coming our way. You can see the swirl right there, the center of it, there near Albuquerque, New Mexico, and that will be driving the storms. Now, the storms tonight and tomorrow will be to our northwest as we put this system into motion. You can see those storm chances will ramp up here as we get into Friday. At this point, it doesn't look like it's going to be a prolific severe weather maker for our region, so we're just keeping the overall severe weather threat in the low category here across the board tomorrow evening into Friday. Here's Futurecast, and you can see pretty nice weather through tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening. Late tomorrow evening after midnight, probably a complex of storms will approach the west and then fall apart, and we may see some additional storms develop out ahead of that front Friday, and perhaps some lingering showers too, and some thunder showers Friday afternoon and evening. But all of that goes away for the weekend. A little bit cooler Friday, perhaps upper 70s Saturday, mid-80s Sunday, your Mother's Day, and then pushing 90 degrees again next week.
All right, thanks, Keith. Fast Pitch State Championships officially begin today in Ridgeland. We have highlights from our 3 area teams playing today. Next in sports.
WCBI Sports with Robbie Donahoe is brought to you by your local Ford dealers. Go further.
The Gold Glove awaits for 4 of our area teams making the trip to Ridgeland for the Fast Pitch State Championships. Best of 3 series started this afternoon from Freedom Ridge Park. We start with the Lady Lions of Hamilton facing Boca Chita in Game 1 of their Class 1A Fast Pitch Softball State Championship Series. Top 4, Houston's down 2-1. Faith Fontenot getting things going. That's a single to center with a little blooper. So we got a runner on. Taylor Brock calling her shot. And this one's going so far that it sends our camera out of focus. But hey, it happens sometimes. 2-run shot. Hamilton takes a 3-2 lead, but bottom 7, bases loaded. Cody Leggett going to rip a deep shot into center. Cherise Savoy would score from third. That would be your game winner as Boca Chita wins it 4-3. They take a 1-0 series lead. Game 2 tomorrow at 4 as Hamilton looks to even up the series. To the Class 2 state final series, Mantachie facing Taylorsville, and 8th grader Lindsay Barber. Man, she was working on the circle. Gets the strikeout there. She had 10 Ks in the game. Top 6 for the Lady Tartars now. No score, 1 runner on. Shania Key's going to rip a shot to left. It gets down out of the glove. Emily Boykin's going to score, so Taylorsville takes a 1-0 lead. Bottom half, here comes the Ramblin' Wreck of Tachi Check. McKinley Montgomery putting one into right. That's a base hit. Trying to get something going for the Lady Mustangs, but a strikeout would leave a runner stranded. Mantachie just couldn't get things going, but they're going to try to drop some bunts down, get some more energy on the base pass coming up tomorrow as Mantachie falls 1-0 to Taylorsville. Game 2 is tomorrow at 6:30. Defending 3A state champs Moorville taking on Choctaw Central in Game 1. Top 2, 1 on here for Hallie Donnell, and it's out of here. A 2-run bomb gives Moorville a 2-0 lead, and they're working and looking good. Top 6, Lady Troopers now up 2-1. Abby McDonald rips a liner to short, goes through the infielder's glove, so we got a runner on first, and then eventually McDonald will get to second after a bad throw to first, so Moorville takes advantage. Addison Biffle to center. Shelby Phillips is going to score. 3-1 lead for Moorville, and then India Samuel would fly out after that. Hallie Donald had a great pitching performance on the circle as Moorville takes Game 1 3-1. Game 2 will be Friday 11 a.m. as the Lady Troopers look to go back-to-back. To Knoxville now, more softball, the SEC softball tournament, starting with a doozy in the first round, MSU and Ole Miss. Rebels would strike first in the first. Sarah Van Schaik sending one into right center. Alondra Cox is going to score. Rebels go up 1-0 after 1. Top 2, though, the Bulldogs would pull even. It's Olivia Golden, and Olivia this is quite a golden swing, going to right center over the wall. It's a solo home run, and fans too have been loving it as Olivia gets home. We're tied at 1. Bottom half, though, Ole Miss gets the run that would ultimately be your winner. Miranda Strother sitting back on that pitch, puts into center. Gracie Masham's going to score. Caitlin Lee would shut the door after that. Ole Miss wins at 2-1. They advance to play the 1 seed Florida tomorrow as MSU is eliminated. And lastly in the NFL, former Ole Miss quarterback Chad Kelly has officially signed with the Denver Broncos, the final pick of the 2017 NFL Draft. Reached an agreement on a 4-year deal with the team. His signing bonus expected to be right around $65,000. Kelly expected to compete for the starting job when training camp begins in Denver, as the two QBs ahead of him, Trevor Siemian, Paxton Lynch, remain question marks going into the new season.
Wow, big news there.
Big deal, yeah.
All right, thanks. We'll be right back.
Warm weather tomorrow, some storms tomorrow night into Friday. We'll take the rain. We don't need the severe weather. Probably not a big event for us, Joey, severe weather-wise, but we'll take the rain. And for the weekend, pretty nice stuff.
Yeah, we definitely need the rain. All right, thanks, Keen. Thank you for joining us, everybody. Have a great night.